Hello, broken tubers, and welcome back to Let's Play Secret of Mana with me, Blueankylo. Now, I'm gonna have to explain a couple things to you guys first. First, it's a new live stream, and second, there's been some crashes in between the last time we recorded and not. So, between the last time the future tubers you guys were listening and now, this should be where we ended your last episode. But I started recording the next episode and played, I don't know, 30 or 40 minutes in. And then Windows 10 decided to crash my computer, like hard freeze, have to hit the reset button. So the episode recording was lost, so all the footage we recorded is gone, which sucks. And I hadn't been making a lot of saves because, you know, I've never really had that happen on a Super Nintendo emulator before, and Windows 10 is still new and stupid for me, so anyway, I lost quite a lot of footage, or like both footage and progress. So last live stream, just the last night, we had to reload our most recent save back to Sage Jock, redo the trial, redo a bunch of stuff, and catch back up to where we were. So unfortunately, what I have told you guys in the last episode or not, I've forgotten, so I might be repeating some things, or I might have forgotten to explain a couple things. Now, this time around, I did spend a little bit more time level grinding some magic between progress because I was mad. So I took a little bit of break and got most people up to level 6 on their elements, or 7 for Shade, because Shade's pretty good. And then since we picked up Dryad, on the way down here I got at least a couple basic levels to go. So I think right now, at our current status, level 7 magic is the maximum. We can't get to level 8 yet, but it'll unlock eventually. And, you know, we haven't maxed out everybody, but we're pretty close. So we've got very strong spells. And then for the girl, I think maybe less grinding a little bit. But, you know, we got at least Undying to 6. And we were testing out a lot of the Luna spells, like Moonsaber to steal HP, Lunar Boost, which does give you some attack bonus, and Moon Energy, which gives you a very high, if not perfect, crit rate. So we were testing that out a little bit. Seems pretty good. They really don't last very long, the Luna spells. Like, they're strong, but they wear out really quickly. And well, there was some suggestions that we should try to use the defense and speed up buffs a little bit more often. And that Lumina's Lucent Beam was pretty strong, so I leveled it up a little bit. But mostly I like to use the girl for healing, so, you know. Anyway, let's continue. So, like I said, I have been through this area before, so, well, both in in long term and also in recent term. So if I play a little different than I was last episode, it's just because we've done this recently. The girl got lit on fire. Oh, I think one thing we were talking about last time is how the level 6 spear had the effect on it that said, you know, balloons enemies, or KOs enemies, I think it said KOs, like unconscious. The imp is the one that's doing the javelin's doing the ballooning. But the Gygus Lance, although it says +2 strength at level 7, I think it still knocks things unconscious, so let's test this out a little bit here. Maybe not. Maybe it was a glitch. Maybe that's when my game crashed. But the last episode, we were knocking things unconscious. So that's great. Anyway, the whip tangles them, the javelin balloons them, and sometimes the spear knocks them asleep. But it doesn't say it does, so. How does that work? I don't even know. Anyway, I've been using a little bit more magic going through this time. Because it's my second time around, it's kind of easier to just, you know, burn things to death. Or at least try. There's definitely a few bugs in the game. I guess maybe I should have expected it to crash more often than what it was doing. I don't think I've ever had Secret of Mana crash on me in the past, and I still think it was Windows' fault more than the game itself. But you know, it's probably got a couple bugs. Is anyone here that was here last night that watched all the enemies get KO'd after I upgraded my spear to level 7, even though it shouldn't have done that? Boy, that was a great time. So the future tubers believe me. Anyway, that switch up there is what we need to hit. It's going to be a long route to get there, but that's the actual target for this. We've got a bit of a puzzle dungeon, sort of. And once we hit the right switches, these little door areas, these door panels will open up. Awesome guy was here, that's right. Ooh, we got some magical armor. I don't think that's good, actually. But that's maybe our first armor drop of the entire game. So, you know, we could sell that for some money. So, we opened the other door. Just remember that door on the right for later. So, one thing that has happened quite a lot between, you know, last episode and this episode is I've spent quite a lot of time learning what all the enemies are weak to, like elemental-wise. These little metal caterpillars are not weak to any element, and they're sometimes kind of hard to do damage to, and they cast wall on themselves and all that. But if you dark force them, it does a lot of damage, especially at high levels, so. And we could probably just not kill everything and just keep moving, but I don't know. It's kind of nice to have the, it's nice to show off the spells a little bit here. This is a dungeon where I kind of feel like that was the design, where there's a lot of enemies with really high defense and evasion, and they have a lot of different elemental weaknesses. So it kind of seems like that was the intent of this area was to, you know, use all your different elemental spells to kill stuff. At least, that's my story. Lots of enemies with the wall spell. And hide. And if they've got the wall spell, sometimes they've got like low physical defense, so you can just kill them easily. And some of them have very high defense, but they're weak to an element, so. Thanks, Yayo. Belching for my overpowered KO spear that I'm really sad to have lost now somehow. We need to learn how I bugged that in there, because if you can carry over a weapon's status effect after upgrading it when it should lose it, that would be a very, very useful effect. These slime things are still about the worst enemies around, because they reproduce into late game garbage enemies. And they have no elemental weakness, and they're really hard to do damage to. I think they've got about, what, 370 HP, give or take? So, you know, a couple castings of Dark Force works, but not much else does much. I think they're, like, immune to elemental damage, like fire, water, earth, wind. The color game. So this came up last time, we talked about it a little bit. Apparently there's a Resistance member somewhere. Wow, like this is... Can't even hit the dumb thing. Apparently there's a little bit of puzzle here, but apparently someone does tell you about it. I did upgrade it in the dungeon both times, I think. Because I didn't head back to town to upgrade it. So I'm pretty sure both times I upgraded the spear to level 7 was at the same place in the middle of this dungeon. Right where we started the episode, but... Who knows? I don't know what happened. Anyway, apparently... there's someone you can talk to that tells you the order for that puzzle. But I don't know whoever says... I'm not sure if I've ever found the person that you talk to that gives you the tip. So you don't want to hop down there unless you want to go back to the beginning of the dungeon. Just showing it off because it's there. What you want to do is figure out the puzzle and then head on down. And of course it summons something before... all the summoning enemies in here, they get real old real fast. Remember when I said, remember these, remember that switch? Yeah, I have no idea how I glitched the spear out. I think I've... Like, I do think I've done something like that in the past. It seemed familiar that I've had that bug happen before, so I don't know. I don't know how to repeat it. It's just... Clearly... It happens sometimes. Gotta steal some MP here again. Been going real hard on the magic this time. Alright. Good job, Sprite. So don't forget, this is the dungeon we're looking for, or this is the area that opened up after stepping on the switch we had to go around in a big circle for. This dungeon isn't really a big maze. It's not super bad, but I spent a lot longer here the first time through because I don't know. I got a little bit confused going around in circles. So, at least the second time through for the future tubers, we don't have to waste as much time. I also think I tried to fight more battles with physical weapons. And some enemies go down pretty quick to physical. You know, like the Fierce Head. But, I would suggest just using magic to get through this dungeon, mostly. And I have heard that these black ninja dudes, dark stalkers, they can drop some interesting items. Like, we got that magic armor that was kind of garbage. But these guys can drop something actually good. If you get lucky. Now, you're just as lucky... You're probably just as likely to get a doom trap that kills you, but... Anyway, we're finally out of the subway system, which is pretty much where we were. If we didn't just straight up miss our physical attacks so often, I probably wouldn't feel like I needed to use magic all the time. Oh yeah, we're not quite out of the subway system. I forgot about the train. Yeah, okay. We did this train as well already. I mean, we did all this. We made it pretty far last time before it crashed. It's a fun train. Alright. To the disco train. Because it's full of disco zombies. Now, they should all be weak to Lumina. Which means, in theory, if you want to burn some MP, you could do this. If it's high enough level, anyway. Yeah, seems to work. Now, zombies aren't generally that hard to kill. So, you know, I don't think it's really worth all the MP costs, but, you know. These guys, relatively chill. We were knocking them unconscious, too, with our spear last time, so it was even easier, because, you know, we had glitch spear, which is pretty darn useful. Very Final Fantasy VI. We're just going the wrong direction. It's possible these ghouls were from, like, a previous dungeon anyway, so they weren't very difficult. Also, it looks like the train is moving. It isn't, though. It's kind of weird. It looks like we're traveling down the subway or something, but as far as I know, it's not really supposed to do that. Like, we're still directly under the forest temple or whatever. Okay, the one dangerous enemy down here is this guy and what he can summon, which are these little needlers. Look how much damage those jerks do. And now there's two of them! Oh boy. See, I thought I cast magic on the eggplant man to kill him already. But the spell didn't go through, or something. Now we've got two of the little dark sonics. Or he's immune to magic? Oh, we are dead. We are dead, son. So this room sucks. We need to kill these things right now, or we're... Well, we could run away, to be fair, but Blue never runs away. It was probably easier last time with my extra status effects. Also, I swear... Game over, man. Turn to stone. Run away! I just healed everybody up. Instantly killed. Well, we've made it through a couple of those fights before and never had a problem. This is what happens, though, with bad luck. Wow. Alright. We're totally fine, don't worry about it. Nothing bad could possibly go wrong. Whew. And I was even using magic and stuff to try to kill those guys quick. I guess it would have been a little bit better if I knew, like, what element... Like, the Needlers tend to be weak against air magic, the hedgehogs. But didn't work that time. I probably shouldn't rely on Dark Force too much, because although it does a lot of damage, we've already leveled it up to max, so it's not really accomplishing much. Like, we're not gaining any, you know, magic XP. Whereas we could be leveling up our burst. I haven't even showed this off for the future tubers. The burst spell's pretty good. Costs 4 MP. Oh, come on, not again. 4 MP, and it does decent damage. If I didn't say so before, basically non-elemental damage. Look at this guy just charging out of nowhere. Give an Untitled a break. Alright. And we are in one of the longer sections of the game where there is no save points. So if you got a party wipe there, which we very nearly did, you'd have to go a long way back, because there's no in-game place to save, basically once you get to the Forest Temple. So, this is kind of one of the lousier dungeons in the game for that. Also, gonna die again from Stunlock. Basically, use magic all the time or you are doomed. Also, I'm trying to kill these ninjas to get their rare drop, because, you know, how cool that would be. You know, they keep using fire magic, but I don't, or fire attacks, but I don't think they're actually weak to Undine or anything. Oh, right. The enemies are respawning quicker than we can kill them. So there is a way to get around that too. We can, you know, dispel the spell and heal up the people that are dying. If my NPCs ever follow instructions. That was like 2 spells in a row they didn't cast. Alright. Are you kidding me? Okay, we killed him anyway. It starts to drive me a little bit nuts when they can recast wall in the time it takes me to cast one spell. We're gonna need to steal some MP again pretty soon. I kind of like the animation for Burst. It kind of reminds me of like Flare and Nuke and all that stuff. Alright, more ninjas. I got dispelled, but I didn't have any magic cast on me. What are you guys doing? Alright, we'll be fine. This dungeon probably has too many enemies. You know those RPGs with, you know, enemy encounter rates that get really obnoxious really quick because You can't hardly move without getting attacked by a random encounter. This dungeon kind of feels like that, you know? When new enemies are walking in on the screen before you can kill the next enemy, the last enemy. Might not be my favorite dungeon. Oh, by the way, there's a really difficult puzzle. Very complicated. No one's ever figured that one out. I'm the first person to beat this game. Nice. Just hit him while he's down. There we go. Alright. So if you want to go back, you can go back. If you don't want to go back, just go down this way. We'll take out Captain Duck and then we'll be out of here. Assuming we can do any damage to him. Maybe my spear is bugged now. It doesn't work at all. Oh, by the way. Right, I forgot. Boss time. Sort of. Hey, you. Yeah, you. I did some nosing around. Seems this kid is the legendary Mana Knight or something. Ha ha ha. What a joke. How could you have found that blade? Freak. It's one of those days when everything falls over. Sorry about that. Why is it so much faster? Hold on a second, everybody. It says it's going 100%, but it sounds like it's going a lot faster than 100%. What is... Why is everything breaking on me, guys? I feel like... What is... This is not normal speed! What did you do? I didn't touch anything, game. What are the best weapons in this game? I usually like the spear. Ah, figured it out. Had to hit the minus key. It's whatever you like using, though, really. And you have to use the sword, so use the sword for your main character. Ah, how could you have found that mana sword? Yeah, we're gonna be rich selling that blade, boss. Speaking of the mana sword. Shut up! Go get it! Super Special Deluxe Robot Type 2 with Turbo! Kettle Kit. Alright. So, we've got ourselves another boss. He's got Lucid Barrier, so he can ignore a little bit of damage. See if he's weak against anything. He's already a quarter of the way dead. Now, if I remember correctly, he's got a cool little trick. Ooh, he boosted his crit rate. Or not his crit rate, his damage. Well, it does look like that spell works and does boost your damage, so... We've seen the enemy use it. She's dead. Are you gonna stand up, girl, so you can heal us? Anytime. There we go. Now heal us quickly before you die. And maybe we'll do some damage to the boss with he's not weak to any element, so we'll just go with burst. He really does not have a lot of HP, so he goes down, he'll die pretty quick. Maybe he's got a lot of magic defense though. He keeps sort of enduring our attacks with his Lucid Barrier though. I'm just gonna wait over here for a second. And spring into action! Okay, what? Stop cheating. I can't even hit him. Alright. Stupid magic casting robot. Yesterday this boss was so easy, he died. It's my last cup of wishes. I don't know what's going on anymore. Last time we played this game, last stream, all this stuff was super easy. Really easy boss fight, nothing to worry about. And then the game crashed, of course, so no one can see it. Here we are tonight, dying to random you know, Dark Sonics and a boss that has got like 1,000 HP. You can kill him with 3 Dark Forces, I think. I don't think he cast the Lunar Boost spell once last time. He just did his spin attack, which knocks you unconscious, but doesn't do much damage normally. Boss AIs are weird in this game. The scripts seem to be sometimes much better or much worse. He's too strong! Yeah, yeesh, the real Mana Knight! What idiot said he wasn't really the knight? Let's grab! Yeah. Alright, Team Rocket's blasted off again. And now to really confuse the issue, all this traveling around, and now, and this is, I don't understand this part at all. This is part of the game that, I'm sure this is what I said last time I was here. This part of the game really confuses me. But we're outside the Dryad Temple again. But the staircase is different now. So last time we came down here, the right-sided staircase just led into a little puddle, and we couldn't get to the door. And the left side is, you know, we went down the left staircase, went all the way around, and came up on the right side. But I have no idea why this part of the map just suddenly changes. Because if it had been like this in the first place, we wouldn't have needed to even do all that last dungeon. So I'm not sure if the game is supposed to explain it or if I just don't understand it right, but this part has always kind of confused me. Or is this supposed to be a different temple? Like, I feel like it's the same temple, but maybe I'm wrong. Because this side, just double check, still connects up to the left side. Yeah, it's the same temple. You know, we started this dungeon over here, went all the way around from the left side, ended up on the right side, but then the map changed. And that's the only reason we can actually get to the main door now. And Jima will still probably be up here. Yeah, all the soldiers are still up here. So we didn't find a new temple or anything. We just went underground, had a little bit of fun down underground. We were arguably trying to chase Thanatos around and his baddies. And we just ended up where we started. So, anyway, I don't know if I'm just being dumb or something, but... Anyway, for whatever reason, this staircase connects now to the rest of the area, and now we can get inside the main temple, which is, I assume, what the goal was all along. We just took a gigantic detour, and then suddenly the map changed. So, let me put down some more save states in case the game crashes, because it was inside this dungeon where the game crashed last time. So we've got some woofs. These guys are not too difficult. It was easier when they were knocked unconscious. It may have been the woofs spawning, because they summon other woofs. It might have been something to do with that crashed the game, or I'm not sure if it was the game that crashed. Like, I don't know what came first, Windows 10 crashing, the game crashing, or like OBS crashing. But anyway, everything died real hard last time we were going to this dungeon. So, I'm really hopeful that that does not happen again. Last time we went up first, and I was like, I need to go back down here later on. So, let's go down here first. Oh, we're out of MP on the girl. I guess at this point you could probably go back. Because the map has changed, you could go back somewhere and actually save it, which is weird. But there is no inn or shop right now to go buy things and heal up, so... I thought those guys were weak to Lumina. $400 HP. Fears Lumina. Well, the Lumina did 1 damage, so, I don't think so. Alright, so the enemies in here, like, again, I talked about all these new enemies last time I got here for the first time. Just, you know, it's hard to remember what I've explained or not to the future tubers. The Gremlins are another copy of an enemy we've seen before. Supposedly weak to Lumina, but, questionable. And, these stone sabers can petrify you, which is pretty bad. The Dark Sonic was petrifying us as well. Couldn't pierce the M defense? Yeah. We're only like level 4 Lucent Beam. It's too bad, but that's one of the reasons why I generally find Lucent Beam sucks. It's really expensive, and I don't think it has enough magic power. Like, I think it, for 8 MP, it needs to do a ton of damage, so something that's weak to it should be taking big hits. And that's like the first enemy we've run into that was really weak to Lumina since we've got Lumina, and it did nothing. So, not really worth the 8 MP or the time to grind it up. Gnome's magic. Alright, well, let's start with Gem Missile, I guess. Could be Earth Slide, I don't know. Alright, well, we opened up something. I did not do this the last time we came through here, and would have eventually hit a dead end, I believe. So, if you're playing along, you should probably head downstairs first before you go upstairs. It's a pretty big dungeon. And because these gremlins are on like a different physical layer, you can't hit them with just any old weapon over and over again. But they do seem to have a lot of magic defense, so... Like, if the sprite can only hit them for 6 MP damage, kind of gives you a bit of an idea. I wonder if these guys are weak to anything. I mean, they're just sabers. 400 HP... Doom Sword. It didn't say they were weak to anything. That doesn't always mean much, because sometimes the text display gets like interrupted by criticals and stuff. One of the reasons I'll be enjoying Seiken Densetsu 3 a lot once we get there. Well, last time I never actually switched my sword out or my spear out. Because my spear was getting the knockout effect, which is really, really good, and getting it to level 7 was like, well, I'm never getting rid of this weapon. But now that we've leveled it up to level 7, we might want to go level up another weapon instead of sticking with this no status effect spear. I wonder if there's going to be an orb of each element in here. Maybe this is supposed to be linked to how the barrier worked. Like, you know, we couldn't get into this Dryad Temple at all originally. And maybe it was sort of related to all the other elementals sort of spheres sort of protecting it. The game doesn't explain that at all, if that's the case. But it's a neat little theory. And I really don't have the Fairy Walnuts to be wasting the girl's MP, so if there's an enemy that's only weak to Lumina, it's probably not worth my time to try to kill with Lucent Beam. I don't know if anyone knows what the pun or joke is for National Scar. Is it supposed to be like National Treasure, except it's a scar because it's evil or something? Like, a lot of the enemies in this game have kind of clever names or puns, but if you don't get them, it doesn't really mean much. Alright, so anyway, we hit the 2 switches this time around. Oh, are you kidding me? Blocked by dumb AI. Get down here, you punks. We'll kill more Turtle Lances later. I don't mind fighting some wolves, though. And, you know, they summon other dogs, so... A dog that summons other dogs. It's kind of curious. I wonder if that's what crashed everything, was dog summoning dogs glitch something out. They are heckhounds, of course. So I'm going to put another save state down. In fact, I'm going to put 2. So we've got a save state out here, and then if I update, you know, slot number 1, I won't... I can go back to slot 2. I can go back to slot 2 if something bad happens while we're down here. While we get closer to the place that crashed last time. They've got a lot of magic defense and a lot of physical defense, or at least a decent amount. Gross. Wonder if we can... I wonder if they're actually resistant to dark or not. Because that's probably our highest damage spell. I would prefer it if you followed instructions though, Spray. Nope. Yeah, they must just have a ton of magic defense. And physical defense. Alright, so what weapon should we use next for the boy? The spear is pretty strong. Does a lot of damage normally. But it's not even hitting these gremlins anyway, really. I want to show off the level 7 charge before I switch out, but... Alright, here goes nothing. Cool, except it did nothing. Classic. Alright, what's my next weapon after this garbage pile? Well, eventually we'll get Mazimune upgraded. Mazimuner. The girl just got the whip to level 7. We've got level 7 Frisbee. Oh, we'll use some bows for a little while. Why not? Just, it won't last very long, but I'll do a little bit of bowing. Call out the best weapon in the game. Ah, look at all that damage it's doing. It's so bad. Hey, I killed it. And I got a weapon skill up. Arrow reaches 2. Now, I guess what I could just do is... You know, actually, that's probably smart. The girl recently got her whip skill to level 7. So I could have her train up something else. Like, even just the spear, because it does a lot of damage, at least. And then the boy can go back to the whip, because we need the whip to get around this dungeon a bit. You know, it is very high damage. And honestly, this whip is just so bad. Or, sorry, the bow is just so bad. The whip is only some bad. Alright, so the last time I came here, these little blocks were up, so we couldn't get through, and that was because we didn't hit the pillars in the ground. So, last time I was here, I couldn't get into that little room there. So what's in the room? Probably another magic elemental shrine. So you gotta start at the bottom and work your way up. Probably this will be wind, and on the other side will be fire, or something like that. We did try to scan these, right? And it didn't tell me anything? Lowish HP. Yeah, it doesn't fear anything. Alright, well, if you don't fear anything, let's just burn them all down. And hello, Cryptic. Wow, that did nothing. I kind of feel like the whip doesn't work on these swords. They've got really annoying hitboxes. Oh, that worked. Dark magic for the win. Petrified. Killed instantly. Alright, while I was reading chat, I just about died. I'm just kind of surprised that even with the extra grind that we did earlier, we're still having kind of a hard time getting through these dungeons. I actually meant to scan the book. But it will be Sylphid on the orb. And then for reference, the National Scar. Fears Lumina. Well, that's not very good. The spell I don't want to use. Or the element I don't like to use. Alright. Another pillar dealt with. I kind of like the idea that it was the other elements guarding the forest temple. And that's why no one could get in there until we sort of unlocked all 7 of them. It just would have been nice if the game explained it. Also, I dislike how little damage we're doing with this whip, or anything. You kill him eventually, but... You know, like, it's hard to explain, but, like, when I was wielding the spear, sure, 9 more damage, but it seemed to hit more regularly for more damage. Obviously, against, like, low defense enemies like this doggo, no big deal. Pretty reliably hits, until he casts magic. And cheats. Thank you for cheating. Okay. Oh, I wonder, did I ever change these guys back? When I was working on their magic level... Oh, I did turn them back. When I was working on their magic level, I had their offensiveness turned way down because, you know, magic. But, you know, now that we're just going through dungeons, you want to be able to... you want to be able to see them attack more often, and sometimes they're just really dumb. So yeah, this was a dead end last time, but now we can get to Shirley Salamando's orb. Maybe we just save some time here. Alright. Good. See you later, swords. As long as you don't touch the swords, they don't really wake up or anything, so. Changed my mind. I'd rather use a sword. Yep. I like weapons that connect regularly. So, even though the whip is generally pretty decent, the sword and the spear are just more reliable when I'm using them anyway. I don't know if it's the hitboxes or what, but it just seems so much easier to connect when I'm using a melee weapon, like a short-range melee weapon. Besides, we're gonna get another sword orb pretty soon, don't worry. Got him! Spin to win. But, like, it just seems like I can keep him stun locked better, right? Because every hit connects, and then he gets into his, like, stun animation. And eventually you get a crit or something and do some big damage, but... When I was using the bow or the jet or the whip, it just seems like that strategy never works. Alright, interestingly enough, magic did nothing that time. Didn't we see Dark Force do like 400 damage once? Yeah, there's definitely some sort of magic evade slash hit that I don't totally understand. Because I have seen this do damage to them. It's not always 1 damage, I'm sure, right? Unless, maybe the damage I saw was from a physical hit while we were in the spell animation. Maybe. I guess at the very least, they still get kind of stun locked, so... So there's a couple of these rooms here. I think these might be the kind of rooms where there would be weapon orbs if you'd missed them earlier in the game. I think that's the idea anyway. So there's a couple of those rooms here. And if you go oh right, I forgot the roller turtles. But more importantly, there's this treasure chest over here. Booyah! Sword orb. That's the good stuff. Level 7 mana sword. We're almost fully charged. I mean, the game doesn't really explain that level 8 is the maximum level, but... You know, 8 seeds, 8 magic levels, 8 elements. It's just rule of 8. Okay, you guys can't hit anything. That is not the target. Alright, kill the poor woofer. Good job. And oh look, another dead end. And a bunch of gremlins that are mostly magic immune in an area we can't really get to. Oh, were these side areas? Right, these are probably magic 5 and 6. So this is going to be Lumina, probably, judging by the lights. Big waste of MP. But you gotta do all this stuff. Okay, that's number 6, or 5. We'll go the other side, get number 6, because I forgot to do that when I was over there. Just got real excited. You know, I wanted to get that, that mana sword. Perfect. And, you know, while we're casting magic, can you steal some MP from the book, maybe? A little bit. Come on, leave the swords alone. Evening Thor. Alright, and with that done, we go up and around and poke. But this is right where, really, really quite close to where the thing crashed. The game crashed on me last time. We're almost caught up after all this time. Okay, leave the gremlins alone. We can't really hurt them. Kill some howlers because I feel like it, but wonder if you could. It's probably not going to work, but what would happen there? Change form never works on anything you want it to work on. That's the truth. What a dumb spell. Come on, burst, be piercing. It actually did more damage. For a spell that's only level 3, that actually did the most damage to one of these gremlins we've ever done with magic, I think. Unless it's just our physicals getting through. It's hard to say. Oh, by the way, the sprite is nearly dead again. Still not very worth it for MP. Hey, we killed one! Oh, right, before I forget. Another save state. Please don't crash. This is the room we died in last time. Come on, Windows 10. Keep it together. So last time we were here, there was no staircases because, you know, I didn't go do all the orb puzzles. But now there's staircases here. Sword v sword. Wish I understood the sword hitbox a little bit better. Oh, it's dead. All this charging for nothing. No glitch spear. No, I don't know what happened this time around, but we lost out on the cool super spear. Big downgrade. So we had this pack of wolves on screen last time. I'm pretty sure the crash was not really the game. It's probably Windows 10 anyway. It's always Windows 10. Alright, new room! Never made it here yet, until just now. A very complicated switch puzzle. It's mostly just complicated by your party members getting lost. Hey, Sprite skill level up. Okay, leave them all alone. I think... Is there somewhere I can whip from here? Or I might have to go all the way around first before we can do anything. Nope. Just didn't want to connect, that's all. So I expect there's still 2 more elemental orbs. This one looks vaguely moonish to me. Which means it's... Well, we can scan it, just to guarantee, but... We don't really have any offensive moon magic. So what would it be? Just steal MP from it? Luna's magic. Well, we can't target it with buffs or anything, so... Maybe you just transform it, I don't know. I guess that'll do. Might be the only element with no offensive magic at all. Pretty sure. Speaking of offensive magic, though, we should steal some MP every now and then. Alright, that's one side done, and we have to go all the way around, I expect. Probably get a Doom Trap. Just from Royal Jam, okay. You don't get screen stuck anymore. Your allies, just leave them behind. Good, just leave them behind, that's what I want. I'm not sure why you'd want to go up into this top left side. I expect that was just a connection that was there just to trick you, like a red herring. Anyway, let's just speed this all up a little bit. I don't really want to mess around with all these enemies. Oh, speaking of enemies, we got ourselves another boss fight. Let's have a look at this guy. 1000 HP, approximately 6 MP. Oh man, Snapdragon. He does do a lot of damage. His chomp. Of course, the sprite always dies, so... Not fooling anybody. Alright, sprite. Take him out. Alright, please actually do what I tell you to do? Yeah, I mean, we can kill him in 2 casts of that, basically. Which is good, because he can almost kill us in 1 shot, so... Take that. And another orb. We're just gathering up orbs like crazy. If only I wasn't limited by the girl's MP for how long we can dive, I wouldn't feel so bad, but... We are running fairly low on fairy walnuts and healing magic. So was this the original entrance? Do we get all the way back to the top of the place again? Like... Couldn't we have just gone up the staircase here? Like, why did we have to go through the whole dungeon? Couldn't we have just come up to the main door again? I don't understand. This dungeon makes no sense. This is the Emperor, but he's dead. Is he? When did he die? I just can't believe it. Who would do such a thing besides us, I mean? I am streaming on Twitch as well, yes. Hey, now there's an exit behind the stage. Let's check it out and find some answers. It's just gonna be another boss fight. So again, I'm just, like, before I go up there, I promise, I'll go up there in just a second. I'm just really confused by how this dungeon works. Because, like, we started here, then we got Dryad and got beat up by the Emperor, or whoever it was, and they sealed all the seeds in the entire planet instantly. And then we had to go down after the continent rose up. We went to the bottom of the temple. We couldn't take the right stairs, so we had to go the left stair, go all the way around a big circuit, come up on the right side, and suddenly the red staircase connects to this same tower now. Alright, so we could have just walked right up here, but now you can take the lower entrance into it. So we started up here, couldn't get to the bottom entrance, did a big loop-de-loop, the map changes, now you can go into the bottom entrance. You go all the way up the bottom entrance, and it takes you right back to where you were. Like, this whole dungeon is just, it's like... I don't understand. It always confused me as a younger Ankylo, and now as an adult, I'm like, yeah, this is clearly a really messed up dungeon. So you made it after all, and we were following these guys. They did the circuit too. Like, that's the worst part. It wasn't just me. All of these Thanatos and all the bad guys, they did the same loop-de-loop that I did for no reason. Was it you who killed the Emperor? Also, when did the Emperor... I don't remember the Emperor even dying. What happened? I'm afraid so. We'd rule the world if we had unrestricted access to the Mana Fortress. So, I mean, it makes sense that Thanatos and his cronies would betray the Emperor, I guess. But I don't really remember him ever dying, so... okay. And by we, of course it's Thanatos. What'd you think? I should have known! I mean, yeah. Haha, long time no see, my young make-believe knight. We also, saw him not very long ago, didn't we? Where's dialog? Has he been harmed? Is he safe? Who's dialog? Do I even remember who that is? Oh yeah, of course. He's just about to become my new body. What? Never you mind. Don't pay any attention to the plot of this game. Now, Thanatos, to the fortress. Revenge is so sweet. Bye-bye forever, kiddos. Alright, so we got ourselves another boss. Another random demon boss. Let's see what this one's called. Lots of HP, 3,400. Does dispel magic. Might not be weak to any elements? I don't know. Oh, it turns you to pygmy. Oh no! The only status effect that I barely even care about. We didn't even get the animation. So anyway, here's one of those bosses that I don't remember really ever fighting legitimately. Like most of the endgame bosses. Because if you're fighting them legitimately, you're just constantly getting dispelled and pygmy eyes. Anyway, let's just try out some magic on her, see how it looks, right? See how Dark Force stacks up. It's pretty high level. Not very good. You can charge up this sword. You know, maybe that'll work. It's the mana sword. It works pretty good. It's over 10% of her HP. Let's try something else. So, maybe, you know, we just learned Dryad magic, right? Not high enough level, but it's doing okay. For level 3, that's pretty good. Let's just try out some more stuff. It looks like she's going to constantly dispel us. Oh, pretty much immune to ice magic, interestingly enough. Or not. Just took a second. Really? How are we supposed to tell what hit? After the spell animation, it said 0 damage. I don't know. Undine works just fine. What else do we got? Fireballs. We'll figure out what the strongest spell is, you watch. The strongest spell is getting a crit. Which we could arrange. There's only a couple more elements we haven't tried. What if you believed in the power of crits like I do? Every time I go anywhere near her, just immediately knocked on my ass. There we go. So, you know, at least I got to attack twice. Oh, man. It's kind of an annoying boss, I've got to say. That's how it's gonna go, isn't it? We finally start getting some cool buff spells. We fight a strong boss that you might want to use some buffs on. And then this doesn't work. Strongest spell is Meteor? I don't think we get a Meteor spell in this one. Closest thing to Meteor is probably Burst, I guess. Anyway, we took her down. She didn't seem to do a lot of damage. She just did a lot of dispelling. So, Hey! Is that level 8 whip? That's gonna be our first level 8 weapon. What the Thanatos? Why? Yeah, whatever. Another boss in the boss gauntlet down. How about another boss? Geshtar! Yes, poor Geshtar. So caught up in blind loyalty to the Emperor, he refused to join me. I took pity on his carcass and used my ancient magic to create a living fighting machine. Uh-huh. Just don't ask questions about the plot anymore. It's gone totally off the rails. Alright, what do we get this time? Oh, he's got wall. We'll never beat him. We cast the spell before... What a cheater. He cast wall after I cast analyze. What a dirty cheater. He cast speed up on me at least, thank you. I appreciate that. He reflected it off himself. Still, I want to analyze him. There we go. So he's got the most HP yet, over 4,000. That's the strongest boss we've ever had. Now he's only got like 30 MP, so you might have an easy way of... I hate it. Like, okay, there are some definite glitches in the way the battle mechanics work as the boss bounces around the side of the map. But you can cast a spell before the enemy has done anything, and his spell still goes through in time to reflect your spell back at you. But in theory, he doesn't have very much MP, right? So we just have to cast that a couple times while he's unwalled, and he can't wall himself anymore. And I believe now he'll be down to 0, so... Oh, well, she's also down to 0. Is it a random generator game? There are random... there are ways of randomizing Secret of Mana, yes. Like a lot of games. It is not originally, though. Alright. So yeah, he only had 38 AP, now he's down to 0. Kind of neutered him a little bit. Now let's just blast him with some magic, because I don't think I have time for this. Maybe I'll do a big sword attack, you know. Dark Force didn't hit very hard, though. Now, he's supposed to be, like, undead, I guess? That's what they told us, but... I don't think Lucent Beam would really work. Maybe he's just strong to dark. Maybe he's just strong to magic. Let's try out the old trick. So if we always get a crit and you use our strongest attack, how much damage can we do? Assuming we can ever hit him. There we go. Alright. Good start. 765 damage. I'll take it. Maybe I should put the other offensive spell on as well. And switch over to the spear that does more damage. 732 damage. Alright, I think we figured out this boss. Just drain his MP, and then use your strongest weapon. Charge it up, hit him for all your worth. Strongest magic, still the Mana Sword? Well, just wait till you see the Mana Spear. Because this one goes to 7. Come on, hit him. I just couldn't see the number. punk! He flew off screen before I could see the damage hit. It doesn't do 1200 damage. The damage cap is 999. It's like old JRPGs. Alright, here we go. Well, we did enough damage to kill him, whatever it was. You don't see the final hit, you just kill him. I mean, he only had 3000 HP, but we were hitting him for like 750 for a while, so... 954 is a good roll. One of these days, someone's going to win that jackpot. They're going to be the richest in the country. Also, that'll get us to level 8 spear. Thanatos has activated the Mana Fortress. The place is sinking. What place? Where are we? We're inside the Forest Temple? So we just raised an entire continent from under the sea. And only thing that was above the sea was the temple, the top of the temple. So we went in there, talked to the forest seed, and then after raising the continent went back down, but the fortress... I can't land here anymore, by the way. Are you sure? I feel like I'm supposed to be able to land here again. Maybe not till after we... No, I'm just in the wrong spot. Yeah, because this is where you gotta talk to Jima. So there's no more giant temple. It's all gone underwater again. Magically. And underground, even. Blue, are you okay? We barely got away. Yeah, we're fine, but looks like we failed to stop the revival of the fortress. I know, the Mana Beast will probably appear and crash against the fortress any minute. The resulting battle between the two will mean annihilation of our world and everyone on it. So let's just take Flammy up and board the fortress ourselves. Without the protection of mana, you won't even get past the front door, kids. Oh, the seeds are dead. No, there's got to be another way, right? No. Unless... Wait, there just might be one last way to get out of this. The seeds that used to power your sword are but a small part of the mana tree itself. Sage Jock once mentioned to me that the mana tree is located within the Pure Land. It's supposed to be hidden under a dense cloud barrier, normally invisible to human eyes. What about sprite eyes? They're made of magic. But the fortress is consuming the last of the world's mana. The barrier has surely weakened. Find the tree itself, and you could instantly revive the mana sword and destroy the fortress. Oh, we have no choice. We must find the place. Alright, we've got something to do, at least. It's a forbidden place. No one has ever been there in recorded history. Beware. Except for probably 15 years ago, but let's not talk about that. Alright, full healing from Chrissy. Thanks, Chrissy. She gave us a little kiss. Kissy the Chrissy. Chrissy the Kissy. I can't believe Thanatos went and double-crossed the Emperor. Oh, it's just like Kefka double-crossing the Emperor. And every other evil advisor / mage betraying the Emperor, who is also evil, but not as evil as the evil mage that worked for him. Oh, Secret of Mana, I love you, but your story is kind of bad. Also, don't forget to talk to this cat, just in case you're wondering. Why? Because you need what he's selling. So I hope you have some money, because this is where you spend the rest of your money. Same thing for everybody. And we did have a lot of people die in the last dungeon, so... Let's ramp that up a little bit. Alright. We've already got all the royal jam and chocolates. So, gauntlets. These are all, I believe, the second best of everything you can get in the game. I think there is one tier higher that's not much better, but a little bit better in terms of defense and magic defense. And then we ran out of money. Should have bought the armor first. It'll be fine, don't worry about it. We had that magic armor, remember? It's random drop. Oh, I already bought the 3. I wasn't even paying attention. Good. I'm just going to sell everything because we didn't really have enough money to buy it all anyway. We still got to the point where the only way we can buy all the armor is if we sold our current armor to afford the rest of it, so. Anyway, this new stuff's pretty good, and even if it's not the best in the game, it's the best you can buy, and we'll probably never see the top-of-the-line stuff unless we get really lucky, so. And it is, I would say, very nearly mandatory for the last couple dungeons to have all of the cat gear here. Oh, it's good enough to beat the game, no doubt about it. It's just expensive, and you could miss it, but you can always come back. But if you didn't pick it up now, you're going to have to come back later, I guess. You did it one without it, yeah, I mean, technically possible, but... So if I hadn't sold my armor first, you'd see that basically everything is like plus 100. We went from like 140 or 120 on our body armor to 240. And I think the gauntlets went from like 40 to 90. And the hats went from like 60 to 140, kind of that kind of range. It's a huge upgrade. Like, I think it easily doubles your armor going for this stuff. And like I said, there is one more upgrade, but it doesn't double it again. It's like, I think, if I remember correctly, it's like 140 to 150 and 240 to 245 kind of thing. So it's an improvement, but not enough to really worry about. Unless they give you some cool status effects protection. Alright, well, we're pretty close to the end of our current episode. There's one more thing we should do before we end the episode, and that's upgrade some weapons. Which we might not have enough money to do. We're gonna go stop by at Blacksmith Stop. Now we can stand up against Metal Sonic. Maybe. He still can petrify you. Do we get petrify protection with this? Also, by the way, there's a mana fortress over there. Stay away from that for now. I don't suppose any of the armor we're wearing gives us petrify protection, because that's what you would actually need to stand up to be actually protected from Metal Sonic. Also, the world music is really nice right now. Alright, Watts. We're not quite done with our orbs, but we're getting close to the end. So, 6,500, we can definitely afford that. Mana Sword, level 7. The Gygas Sword. And Lance, level 8. Booyah, Dragon Lance. Whip, level 8. Upgrading that's probably a mistake. But, you know, it's fine. I mean, I might as well just upgrade them all. But I think the level 7 and 8 weapons kind of have worse magic effects than the other ones. Or worse weapon effects. So what do we get? The Gygas Sword, totally garbage. Dragon Lance, I mean, it'd be nice if it worked, because there's going to be some dragons, I think. But it doesn't actually work. Wing Bow, that'll work. That's garbage. That doesn't work. And we did not upgrade these. So we're still only at level 6 for gloves and axe. But we are level 7 for everything. Or 8 for whip and lance. See, I think, again, this is probably a bit of a bug or a mistake, like a programming error. They probably should have given us a whip. Instead of a whip orb and a lance orb, they probably should have given us an axe and a glove in that last dungeon. Because that would have brought everything to level 7 before the next area. And then the next area can be where we get our level 8 stuff. Which makes sense given where we're going. But, whatever. That's the kind of thing they could have fixed in the remake if they cared. Giving you the orbs in a more sensible order. Anyway, for now, the hero is definitely going to need to level up his sword to level 7. And then the other characters... Oh, I don't know. I guess the sprite should get his boomerang to level 7. It is supposed to be his boomerang. It's his canonical weapon, even. And then the girl... Well, I guess... You know, getting these weapons to level 8... If you can get them to level 8, you might as well. So, switch over to that. Alright. Does the axe also only get to level 7? Dang. I wonder where the orb is supposed to be. Like, if there's an area that they... Or a boss or something they cut. Because if you're missing one... There must have been somewhere that they should have put it. That's weird. Anyway, we're a little bit late for this episode, but we're going to end the episode here, hour 15. Next episode, we're going to go head down to the Pure Land. Purity Land. And, you know, because I've been having a bit of a hard time the last couple areas, before we come back for the future tubers, I'm just going to go get some magic level ups. We're not going to spend, I mean, it's not going to take too long. But I'm going to go get everything to level 7, because we're a good portion of the way there, and we could get the rest of the way there in the next area, but let's just get them to 7 so that, because the next area is pretty hard, and at least having our magic at level 7 makes sense, going into one of the final areas that's meant to be super dangerous. And I'm not going to get like every single element, but the useful ones, like healing magic and maybe the buff ones. Yeah. Anyway, we'll show that off once I come back next time. So just in between episodes, a little bit of a grind, and I will see you next time. So thanks for watching, future tubers. Hope you've enjoyed, and I will see you next time for maybe the Mana Tree. Secret of the Mana Tree.